Hello, I'm Mark Goldbridge, and my new podcast, Goldbridge Saves Football, is out now. Check it out in the video description. We're here to definitively solve all the problems of football. We'll be discussing bad pundits, bad opinions, the lot. Check it out on Spotify or whatever podcast you listen to. Links in the description. You've asked for it. It's out now. We're going to fly straight into this, Will.
Yeah.
We're here to solve football, definitively.
Yeah.
And I saw something this week which was absolutely fantastic. In the words of Gary Barlow, it was absolutely incredible, Mark. Who will win the league first?
Go on.
Arsenal or Newcastle? So I'm going to bring this into our either-or section, which I know you've got a few for me. But who's going to win the league first? Arsenal or Newcastle? Not just this season, could be in the next 10 years. Who is going to win the league first between these two? Because I think it's a brilliant topic to solve.
Yeah, fantastic. Glad you picked it. I think for me,
It's
got to be Newcastle United, because at the end of that sentence there, you said the 10 years. And as long as we've got Pep and Man City, I mean, that's a juggernaut that's going to be hard to stop. So when you look further down the line, who's going to be there? Who are going to be the runners and riders that are still seated on the horse heading towards that Premier League finish line? And that will probably be Newcastle. They're in the Man City phase at the moment. Eddie Howe, probably like the Mark Hughes of the time, where we've got him. He's got Champions League football. It's fantastic. But where are we looking next? We're looking to our Mancinis. And then that's when it gets really exciting for Newcastle.
Do you think that Newcastle could win a league title with Eddie Howe? Or do you think they've got to get rid of Eddie Howe to do that?
I really like Eddie Howe. I think he gets so much...
That's not what I asked.
So much bad press, though, because the job he did at Bournemouth, I think, is so underrated still. People were a bit dismissive of that.
You can't win a league with Bournemouth.
No, I think, will he win it while he's...
I'm just going to do this all through the show. Just little sound bites.
Yeah.
You can't win a league with Bournemouth.
It sounds like you're pressing a button.
Don't eat yellow snow.
That's all, yeah, also good to keep. I think Eddie Howe will not be there by the end of the season.
Yes, so therefore he can't win the league with Newcastle.
No, I don't think he will. But I would love him to do that. Still haven't had an Englishman win the Premier League.
No, you're right. I tried to think about somebody, but I didn't need to.
That's okay.
But no, so this is a little bit like, so we're talking who would win the league first, Newcastle or Arsenal. Now, I famously said at the end of last season that I think Wrexham will win the league before Spurs. I stand by it, but we're talking Newcastle against Arsenal. Who will win the league first? I'm sure we're going to get a lot of people shouting at their podcast or getting in the comments below about this, but I suppose it's a little bit what you're saying, Will, is. I don't want to put words into your mouth.
But anything in my mouth.
But no. And you're saying that realistically, Arsenal may be very close to winning the title, but they're banging their head against the brick wall. Yeah. And Newcastle might be a mile away from that wall, but they're coming with a nuclear missile and they're going to blast through when they get there. Yeah,
well, it's a wall that Arteta's helped build, and now he's almost on the other side of the wall going,
let me in.
Why the hell have I built this? I'm causing my own problems here.
Let me in.
Please, can I come back?
No, I'm happy for you to watch, but you're not getting involved.
There's a lot of watching sort of sexual things coming from you today. Is that
that's completely coming from you. I'm going to come at this from a different angle. I actually think Arsenal will win the league before Newcastle.
Do you really?
Yeah, because what I'm basically aiming this on is that we're talking about right here, right now. And I think that in relation to this season, Arsenal got close last year. Well done. You didn't win it, but I am genuinely saying well done. I think this season you are the second favourites, and if Man City have got to there's no room for error. If Man City slip up, someone's going to walk in, and I think where we are at the moment, and probably for the next 2 years, maybe the next 3, but certainly the next 2 years, I think Arsenal are the best shaped, constructed team to take advantage of Manchester City's slip. Now, you're right, they might not slip, but I think that if I had to choose between Arsenal and Newcastle, I think you're right. In 5-10 years' time, Newcastle probably are going to be a lot stronger than they are. I don't think Eddie Howe will be there, I agree. They will start buying better and better players. We've seen the Man City model. But I'm gonna lean towards the facts. I just feel at some point Man City are going to slip, and I think Arsenal are more likely to be there than Newcastle in the immediate future.
How long? I think the whole of this question is caveated by how long do you think Pep will be at Manchester City for?
Yeah. What's his contract? 2026. Yeah. I think he probably sees the contract and goes, which would time itself very well with Newcastle. But then ultimately as well, let's not forget if Man United get bought by Qatar, and Spurs or Liverpool get bought by rich owners as well, that Newcastle threat becomes diluted even more. I just think that. I've always said this about Arsenal and Arteta. I can see what he's doing. And look, I mean, I never thought that I'd see an Arsenal side spending £100 million on Declan Rice. And they've done it. And people have just gone, oh, that's Arsenal. It's a great point, though. I'm going to solve this. I'm going to say, it's Goldbridge saves football. And I'm going to say Arsenal will win a Premier League title before Newcastle.
But surely, with the amount of resource that Newcastle have and with Pep there, that's just not going to happen, Mark.
Will, this man's not for changing. Goldbridge saves football. Arsenal are going to win the league before Newcastle.
Done.
Nail
in coffin.
Throw it away.
Mark, you put the definitive answer to that question, Newcastle Arsenal, but I've got some other either or, some big topics that we need solving before the season starts. Kane or Haaland, who would you want at Manchester United?
Good question, Will. You've done your research. I'm going to be controversial on this one, and I'm going to say Harry Kane because, he's fell back in his chair. I'm going to say Harry Kane because there's no doubt that Erling Haaland is a fantastic footballer, but he suits a team that creates fantastic opportunities. And I think as a number 9 at Manchester United, you haven't got Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, neither Man City anymore, Grealish and Foden. You've got Rashford and Antony, who are quite selfish in the sense they want to shoot. So I think a number 9 that can create and drop deep is Harry Kane, and he can still score 28 goals in a Spurs side that's not very good. I think he deserves a medal. I'd go Kane.
Okay, double that. I'd have Haaland. Kane 28, I know it was a bad Spurs side, but Haaland came into the Premier League for the first time, broke all records, did it, Premier League, Champions League. Maybe there's a bit of Man City bias here on your side.
Merchant.
Come on now, you're being facetious. You would have Erling Haaland at Manchester. Is it a bit personal because of he was linked at the time? Ollie didn't sign him.
Will, or shall I call you William? This is my decision. It's Harry Kane for the reasons I've said.
The lady's not for turning. Let's move on to goalkeepers. Alisson or Edison?
Oh, easy. Who would you go first?
I'd go Edison.
Why?
Just think he's better on the ball, and that's the way it's moving. I mean, listening to the United stand over the last 6 months, it's all about a goalkeeper being able to play out from the back, and I think Edison is better than Alisson than that.
You know what? I think this is a topic in itself for future shows, but I do think it needs to be on the agenda at some point for Goldbridge Saves Football. But we'll get some of your opinions on this on future weeks. What's gone wrong with goalkeeping? At what point did we start to, champion passing the ball more than saving? A goalkeeper's job is to stop the ball going in the back of the net. However, despite what I just said, I do like a ball-playing goalkeeper, and the best goalkeeper and best ball-playing goalkeeper as a combination, I'm putting my hands together here, fusion, is Alisson by a long way. And I hate to say it because I don't like Liverpool, but Alisson to me is the best goalkeeper in the world.